Welcome back to my channel, and today's topic of discussion is the fact that The Sims is going to be in for some heavy competition because we have some pretty heavy hitters that are supposed to be released within the next year. One of them is going to be released later this month, and the next one is supposed to be released later this year, but there is no official date for it. That being said, I want to start and preface this video by saying that I have been and am still an avid Sims consumer. I have not played The Sims in the last couple of months due to the fact that starting it on my gaming laptop is basically arming a nuke. It almost exploded a couple of times when I have all of my packs uploaded and I try to play it in its entirety. The game, no matter how good the PC or laptop that you have is, it's just too much. The Sims 4 continues to add a lot onto it, and it's not showing any promises of us getting a Sims 5, because from what I remember, I'd want to say last year they had officially announced that they were canceling Project Renee, which was basically the developmental stage of The Sims 5, and instead they re-released The Sims 1 and 2, and yeah, that's basically what they've been doing so far. And this is going to be a little mini Sims rant before we get into the actual games. I have been so disappointed in the way that they have went about the game. Ever since The Sims was acquired by EA, it's as if they stopped putting in the effort that they had in the game. The things that were in the base game for The Sims, and essentially things you did not have to pay for, and features that were not something that it wasn't not included in the base game, they essentially removed them all and made it something that had to come behind a paywall. And when it comes to life simulation, for the last 25 years, The Sims has had a monopoly on it. The Sims has been the only life simulation game in its entirety that has existed, and now it has some competition. And something that I've learned when I did a business class in high school, and we had a little mini discussion on a subject of this because it was a unit where we talked about monopolies, but when a business has a monopoly or is a monopoly, it essentially doesn't value the consumer anymore. And I feel like that's what The Sims has become. They were the monopoly for the past 25 years. They got comfortable, and now there's some competition. And I hope that they can improve from this point on to kind of reach out and be more with the consumers, because even the Simmers have been begging for The Sims to step up their game and really put forth an effort within what they're creating and what the baseline and standard has been in the previous Sims for the current Sims 4. And I don't know. The Sims 4 was exciting upon release because of the build features, and it improved so much in other avenues, but then it took away the life simulation aspect of the game that was once there. And yeah, I'm going to be showing two games that are currently in, one is going to be in the market very, very soon, and another one is supposed to be coming later this year, like I said. And right now, I want to start by showing you the first game that I want to talk about, InZoi. InZoi is created by a studio, a gaming studio named Krafton. I think they're based in South Korea. And they have a more hyper-realistic version of The Sims. But the difference between The Sims and InZoi is that there's a lot of things that come base game, flat out. The environmental stuff, I don't know if there's weather per se, because we haven't really touched upon that, and I didn't really see it in the trailer I'm about to show you guys. But in InZoi, there's driving, there's hyper-realism, which is a little bit of uncanny valley in a way, but it's also really, really cool because it goes to show that there's so much more that can be done across different types of mediums and different types of presentations of games. And for InZoi specifically, I just want to kick off and start the video to show you guys what I'm talking about. But this is a game I'm extremely excited for. Okay, I want to stop at this frame right now. This is exactly what I'm talking about. In The Sims 3, there was open world, right? It was a little bit slower, a little bit dodgier, not really able to be as fluid, but it was something that everyone wanted. And when it was available and accessible, I'm not gonna lie, I love it. I feel like having an open world concept in a life simulation game, honestly, it makes so much more sense than having, you know, the dollhouse type of style that originally came with The Sims 2 and The Sims 1. And this is just like the first frame of the game that like we're officially seeing in this video, but I want to let it be known and shown that I'm so hyped. The way that the park looks, the gates, the buildings, the food truck with the tacos on it, The Sims legitimately refuses to do that. I don't know, like, this is what I'm saying, is that these games are new. These are new games, they don't really have anything, and they're showing a lot of promise. I'm excited for what could be and what is being promised. And this first frame, when I had first seen it, literally made me, my jaw hit the floor. Now, slight criticism of something that I've noticed. When it comes to like Black or African American hairstyles, a lot of games fall short, because if it's not that Killmonger cut and it's not, you know, waves or a fade, I feel like Black hairstyles are not as great. InZoi has a couple of them that are great. Those braids, the braided ponytail, granted this was like also before they're even doing early access anything, but I remember I seen that and I was like, oh, it's a little stiff. It's a very stiff ponytail, but nonetheless, everything else is great. And we're kind of seeing a little glimpse of the Zois, but overall, like I said, we're getting a bigger picture of what is to come. So let's keep going, because I'm just yapping a lot. And that's what I was talking about too. In the InZoi game, what is being promised is that we will basically have access to drive our Zoi's cars. As in, we're getting cars again. We're getting locomotive vehicles and able to go in traffic. But this time, unlike The Sims, well, from what I remember in The Sims 3, back when we still had cars, and even when the earlier version of The Sims existed, you were never able to really have control of the car itself, but I have seen people do gameplays where they themselves were the ones driving the car and they were crashing the car on like fire hydrants and just like denting up the car that they were in, and it was just cool to see. It's something that I'm super hyped to see. Obviously, like, I'm looking back at the pier. It's so hard to not try to compare this game to The Sims, but The Sims has been the set standard, and even the creator of InZoi, I'm forgetting his name, I'm not gonna blank out, but I will insert it here. He has said that without The Sims, there would be no InZoi. And that's the same thing with Paralives too. They said that without The Sims, there would be no Paralives, because life simulation has only ever had one game. And with this, with the InZoi game specifically, for the base game, there's going to be multiple different cities across the InZoi globe that are representative of like real life cities in the world. I know that they have one in Korea. They have like a beachy islander one. They have one that's close to like California in the US. Those are the main three that I can think of off the top of my head at this very moment, but I know that they have other versions and other things to be made and to be heard. And this right here is supposed to be like, I think Venice Beach in California, and like the California version of InZoi, and it's so, like, I'm hyped for it, I'm excited for it, I'm looking forward to it, because, yeah, because we're gonna go back to the car. I think this is, so like I said, there's gonna be kind of like a globe version of InZoi. It's not gonna have like categories of places to live, and it's just so cool to see something that has a fusion of a history, like there's historical and like historical builds and historical architecture mixed in with a modern architecture, which means that like there's history behind this because it's based off of human history. I think that shit is so cool. I think it's really cool that it's being implemented in this game specifically, and I'm so excited to see it be executed. I'm excited for this. I have seen weddings in The Sims. I've tried to have my sim marry in The Sims, and it was like cool or whatever, but like in this case scenario, it's so cool to like have them walk down the aisle together and have like, you know, the little setup and ceremony. Like, I don't know how they're going to execute that in itself, but I'm so excited to see how it will be played out. They had access to a character creator studio earlier. No, I'd want to say the summer of last year. There was a character creator studio that they had given access to as a demo, and they used that to basically help be like, okay, what can we improve on in this area to also help us improve on when we release the early access and full game. And just look at the character creation. Like, this alone, I'm very thankful that they're allowing color wheels, which I haven't even gotten to there yet, but they allow you to customize everything. There's kids, you see, look at the presets for the faces. Oh, and another thing I want to focus in on, traits. I seen what they had for options for traits, but I was a little confused on it because, again, it was only a demo and I wasn't able to really play it out and see how it goes. But we will be doing a let's play when this game releases. The desired life category, I know that they have essentially like an aspiration or goal that your Zoi wants to accomplish, and I don't know how the point system for those types of things works, whether or not you're going to be acquiring traits like how they did in The Sims, or if you're going to be I don't know, like, I really just don't know how that's going to operate. But they did have quite a few things that revolved around career, family, like artistic goals and things along those lines, you know? And I'm excited to see it, like I said, be implemented in gameplay beyond just the trailer. Like, I'm hyped. Y'all, please come back for the let's play. Let's get through this video because I've been yapping a lot. See, this is what I was talking about. They have a lot of different dots, and every single little dot serves a purpose. I'm so used to The Sims because The Sims doesn't have anything like that. And it threw me off, but it's once you get the hang of it, it'll be a lot easier. But first time doing it was not an easy feat. Just gonna say that right now. See, and that's what I was talking about. They have, hold on, I'm trying to go back as much as possible. There we go. Skin tone alone, you're able to get so much more variety than what you were able to get in any version of The Sims. And even in some of like the games that are known for the character creation, they don't really have a lot of color wheels for some reason. And don't get me wrong, I understand for certain things you can't really do it, but the amount of customization alone you can do on just the Zoi alone, and not even like, we'll get to the furniture, we'll get there, trust me, but the fact that you can make any skin tone you want, you can make any hair color you want, you can make so many adjustments and changes to their appearance. I freaking love it. The outfits is something I was really like psyched out about too, because it was so cool to me. The nails, they just recently put that in The Sims, like I think 1 or 2 years ago. The streaks in the hair, you have to like get CC or like have packs in order to do that. The eyelashes, I had to get a CC pack. This is something I thought was super cool too. The customization of the t-shirts or like the clothes themselves, depending on what it is, for like certain shirts or certain, you know, pants, skirts, whatever, you can literally change the length of the length of the sleeves. You could change the length or the neckline to the shirt. You could change whether or not it's a crop top, you know, a halter top, etc. It like you get to change tons of things about the shirt and customize it however you want. And I think it's so cool because I don't see that in any game. Like, I haven't seen that be done at all. And It's cool that it can be implemented and put into a game, because I never considered it just because it was never an option, but the fact that they did it was just, it baffled me when I had first seen it and when I first did it. And I don't know if you guys peeped that. I'm not going to rewind it because I keep messing, like, we're only a minute in. You're able to add your own prints or selected prints that they have for you and put them on a shirt or put them in a painting or put them on a wall. And it's so cool to me. Like, you can add whatever into it. I love that. The cat ears. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. I was a little bit kind of confused about this. From what I can see, you can pick any one of these. So they have 18 different categories you can pick from. The thing that makes me, well, the thing that's like I'm not used to is having things kind of technically be preset in terms of like personality traits, because in The Sims it wasn't like you get to pick out your own personality traits and like see it within the gameplay, for at least the older versions of The Sims, not The Sims 4 really. But it's so interesting to see it already kind of like be preset for you in a way, but also still gives you like a real big range of what you want. Here's the babies! See, this is what I was talking about. I don't know if you can make them in the character creation for the base game just yet. I remember he said he was the character for the game, or I remember the creator for the game said that he was considering making babies and having them be available for the base game, but I do not have an answer of whether or not that's like officially gonna be a thing. But I'm so excited because look at that little face. Oh, green-eyed baby. This is something too. I watch Little Simsy and Plumbella and Steffo Sims and Deligracy and all of those simmer YouTubers. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I feel like they're gonna be so hyped for the InZoi game because their build tools are just something completely different. But also, I know that they're gonna be implementing curved walls because I see certain buildings that have it, but people that were doing the early access to InZoi when they were playing in, they had like a gaming convention where they allowed people to play InZoi in person, and the only thing I haven't seen yet is the curved walls on the build mode, but I know that they will be implemented, so that's another thing. That is another thing I'm really hype about too. Just look at how, like, that's not my dream apartment, but that is kind of my dream apartment. Like, I've always kind of wanted, not a studio per se, but like a lofted style apartment with like the exposed brick, you know, artsy girl type thing. Yeah, that is something I'm super excited for, is the build mode, the life mode, the character like I'm hyped for the whole thing. I'm hyped for the whole thing. And this is just something that I was super ecstatic to see because I'm like, ooh, okay, we can make our own little aesthetics. And see, this is what I was talking about. They have things and paintings and stuff that you can use even on the beds and like furniture and stuff. Maybe not necessarily the electronics, but as far as I'm concerned, you can customize every single thing in this game. And that is something that everybody has been wanting, but we have not been getting. And I'm so geeked. I forgot about this. Yes, you were basically able to 3D print things to either, well, pretty much make decorations. I don't know if you can do like items to like have them interact with, but you can technically like 3D print stuff and put them in your game, and I think that is so cool. Also, look at the little car. It's so cute. They have a photo booth. Okay. Ooh, carnival games. See, and that's another thing I was talking about too. I forgot, and that's why I said base game alone, there's going to be weather. There's going to be things that are just the standard that come with the game because I mean, period. But I'm so hyped, especially for the fact that like I can kind of control the way that it looks. Like I'm so excited to see. Yes, that was what everybody had access to earlier this year. Kind of like what is it? The community tab, is that what it is? This reminds me of the community tab with The Sims, where they basically like you have access to pretty much anyone else's builds that they choose to let you have, anyone else's characters that they choose to let you have access to, and it's basically the same thing with them. um I'm honestly, I'm not gonna hold you, I'd be using Little Simsies builds a lot of the time. A lot of the time I use a lot of community tab builds because when all is said and done, sometimes I don't feel like building, and it really do be like that sometimes. So I'm gonna try building out at least 1 to 2 houses the first go around in this game. Guys, I'm so geeked up. Okay. Hmm. Oh, it kind of looks like a little tablet. I think that is a tablet. So like I said, that there's technically like a globe or like different areas. The way that the map is set up, it's open world. If you're within a certain city, you have open access to that city. But if you were to go, let's say, overseas to another city or another part of the world, I think it would take a loading screen for that. But you see like how big the map is on its own, that you really wouldn't need to travel city to city unless you just want to be go get it. Bliss Bay, nestled in the parallel universe, Bliss Bay evokes the charm of the American city on the coast. Its sun-drenched, sparkling blue waters offer ideal conditions for surfing aficionados, while its picturesque beaches invite visitors to luxuriate in the sun's soothing warmth. The city's iconic theme park brims with attractions suitable for every age, transforming into a magical spectacle of fireworks at night that illuminates the unforgettable skyline. In Bliss Bay, you can truly experience relaxed and joyful lifestyle that its name suggests. So, I remember in The Sims 3, they had this thing called like Roaring Heights that had a roller coaster implemented into the game. I never wrote it with my Sims. I don't think I ever did, to be honest. But nonetheless, um, it's so cool that they kind of have a theme park included in the base game. Because like I said, some things I just never even considered because they just were never in the games that I played. But the fact that they do exist now, it's a blessing. We love her. She's doing the thing. It's a furniture store like IKEA. They have a supermarket. This was a thing in literally every other version of The Sims except for The Sims 4, there was grocery stores, and for some reason they took them away, and I don't know why, because it's not like anybody complained about them. I haven't seen that be done, period. So, looking forward to her. It's so cute to see the families. Oh! Is he in the Yakuza? Like, why did he just smack him like that? He farted? That was hilarious. She's throwing money at him. Smacked him? Okay. That's abuse. I kind of like how it shows the different types of homes that people live in. And I like how his is a little bit more run down and a little dusty. And it's like really, really small and cramped. And it looks like he's living out of his suitcase. I kind of really like that. I think that's really cool. Oh, we can get electrocuted? They have a carousel. That's what I mean. Like, the theme park rides being in the game or in-game is already cool. A money gun. The babies. I'm hyped for the fact that there's base game babies. And I mean, like, interactive babies. Not like just like, oh, newborn bundle and then it's a toddler. Like how we had for a really long time. I'm hyped that, although I do want to see what the newborns look like, I'm hyped that babies are going to be a thing. Oh, the fireworks and drones. They have a claw machine. That's so cute. A book bag. I didn't even realize that they really don't have, like, bags in The Sims. They don't have bags in general. I don't even think that they have bags in Paralives. Granted, I haven't checked, like, the Patreon in the last couple of weeks, so I'm not too in tune with whether or not that is a thing, but the book bag is a nice touch. And the little hoop game. That's really cute. Vandalism, casually. Oh, park yoga. Fitness. I like that tub. The chubby baby. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that smile freaked me out a little bit. The little, oh my god, that little cat thing is so cute. The sparklers. Okay, I don't know why my brain was like, there's fireworks in the game. I did not fathom that they could even put sparklers in there, but I do like that that's a thing. That is so cute. Oh. Guys, I'm so hyped for this game. I want to go on their websites because, hold on, I want to show you guys something. This is something that is coming soon. They're going to be having a showcase come up. The early release date is March 28th at technically like 1 in the morning. But basically it'll be ready like early morning for those that live on the opposite side of the world and those that live, you know, in America and in my region specifically. It will be available to us March 27th at 8 o'clock. But I will be getting a Let's Play out for this upon release. Alright, the next game in succession to InZoi is one that I personally have been putting money into for years. It's been at least 3 years since I have heard of this game and since I have been investing into this game. And this is 100% an indie game. It does not have as big as a team as Crafton does because there's no like company behind this. This is all crowdfunded and appreciated from people that want another life simulation game. And for this specific game in particular, you can already kind of see the name of it, but it is Paralyzed. It promises everything that we've been asking for, and also taking into consideration like their own art style and type of gameplay and way to kind of navigate the situation. And all right, the current thing that they have going on, I'm gonna show. Oh wait, it's been more than 2 years. They started development in 2019, and it's officially going to be coming out for early access in 2025. I've been following this a lot longer than I thought, but that's fine. I put my money into it, and I'm hyped. So January 2019 to June 2019, the creator, his name is Alex. So I remember Alex essentially quit his job to basically create a new type of game to play, and that was Paralyzed. He was very big on build mode when he was first creating the game, and honestly, I remember when this came out, this part with like the little window and the furniture, like he was showing the very, very, very early like bare bones parts to the project. For the build mode for this specific thing, I remember it took him a while. So January to August, he was just doing it by himself. He was focusing on building the world, but also really putting in a lot of effort on the build mode, because that's kind of like where his expertise lied. I remember when I'd seen the thing with the beds, everybody was happy about that because you can make a bed as big as you want, make it as small as you want, as tall as you want, and as low as you want. And it's so cool to see you be able to do that. I don't know if you can do that in InZoi, but I know you can do that in Paralyzed, and I really, really like that. Which means that like you really don't need that many different variations of furniture, but you can just take literally base game furniture and make it as big or as small as you want to customize it to whatever you want it to be, and I really like that. I remember October is when they showed the Halloween thing, and he also had hired a 3D artist named Leah. This is when they started focusing on actually making the character creation outside of just like building and the way that the world looks and the way that the lots work and everything like that. December 2019, that was when they had the first snow. You know, you get to see the snow in the windows a little bit, Christmas trees, decorations, gifts. Maggie's loft. I remember when I seen this, and I will open up the video that shows it. I remember when I'd seen this, I wanted to live here. When I was young, I've always wanted a lofted apartment, but this one in particular is like exactly what I wanted. Also, note, they have a little airplane in the back. They said that they will be implementing like cars and bikes and travel into the game. Again, hype about. But the loft, I'm obsessed with this loft. I wanted a loft like this when I was a kid, and even as an adult I still want one. Don't know if I could ever find one because like very hard to find lofts like this in my city, but this is a vibe. Like, it's just so cozy. And this is when we got a first glimpse of Maggie. See her sipping her tea. Like, it's just so cozy and cute, and like honestly something I'm looking so much forward to seeing in game when they actually do release it. 2020 is when they officially showed like the first part and the first character, if you will, for Paralyzed, and that was Maggie herself. We got to see some outfits, we got to see customization of the body, face, etc. They were talking a lot about like types of jobs, music, character animations, clothing, furniture, stuff that like people wanted to see in game that they were investing in. 2022, we're gonna fast forward, they started implementing children, townies, if you will. They started doing more builds and showing like customization of the clothes, reactions, interactions. I remember the team was getting bigger too around this time. They were picking out their icons for like the types of modes you wanted to be in, whether it be build mode, live mode. 2023, again, focusing more on build mode. That's when we also started seeing food. They had toddlers, so they had children, but now like they're going toddlers, babies. They started showing and implementing them. More character customizations, elders. And then 2024, in February of 2024, they released their early access gameplay teaser trailer, and we will be going to that. 2025 January, they had announced they would be having 150 Pyrammaker items. There's new furniture, there's new animations, emotions, town layouts, architecture, things that people were expressing that they wanted in game, and overall just like general gameplay stuff. And the thing about Paralives is that it's a little bit more cartoony. It's a lot less big as InZoi, but it's also, again, an indie project within the same category, not necessarily under the same type of rubric at this very moment. You get what I mean? I really like that they're basically like the same genre, but still very different from one another, and still very different from The Sims. Without further ado, let's get to Paralives. So this is like the intro to the town. The bikes. Another apartment that is like very aesthetically pleasing. See, and this is where they vary and differ, is that in InZoi you kind of already have your personality laid out. You just pick a category that you kind of want to be in. And in this, it reminds me of The Sims in that way, where you kind of just put a little dots and points. But that was like a thing in The Sims 2, where like you put a certain amount of whatever skill set that you wanted to like already have laid out, and that's kind of what you're doing right here. I really like that it's super, like it gives you that option. I like that some things are pre-selected and you can still like build off of that, but I also like being able to select my own stuff that I would want to implement for a specific character, and that is done in this little glimpse right here. Okay, I want to like take a little look at the vibes. Overjoyed, grumpy, gloomy, energetic, serious, anxious, peaceful, jester. That's the vibes that you can pick. Social perk. Good at being alone, good at making friends, good at taking care of others, good at romantic relationships, good with family, and good at cooperation. Talent. Jack of all trades, music, fitness, technology, visual arts, and good at nothing. And I like that you can pick whether or not somebody can be a vegetarian, sleeping habits, cleaning habits, or I like that too. Pay your bills. Ooh, okay. She's like, I need a job. I can't do that. They have unemployment benefits too. Sims could never. They're like, if you don't have a job, you're not committed to capitalism. You don't want to contribute to capitalism, starve. What did Marie Antoinette say? Let them eat cake. Yeah, they said starve if you don't get a job in The Sims, okay? I like how they have the job postings, like the little thing, the hiring thing. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna need a little bit more money, girl. Let's be realistic here. If she don't unpack these boxes. I also would like to say I really love the cartoony type of style for the characters. It just makes me happy. I don't know why. Like, I like the InZoi's realism and fun thing, and I also like that you can change it to look however you want it to look, but I love the Paralives cartoonish, like, not necessarily trying to look humanoid thing that they got going on. Okay, something that I'm like looking at and zoning out. There is showing the needs and wants in the character on the side, right here in this area. I want to make a new friend. I want to play guitar. I want something fun. And I need to wash myself. I like that. I also like that there's little categories for each thing in the corner, but it's not taking up so much of the screen. It says profile, skills, social, occupations. And then I'm assuming this is like going upstairs, downstairs. I don't know what this is implementing. I don't know what that's for. Like and dislike? And I don't know what that is. But I like the layout because it's very minimal, but still, you know, there. Guitar, piano. Okay, so they have other options for musical stuff in the beginning. Listen to music, okay. I think it's so cool that this happens. You see how you drag and drop pretty much? Well, drag and highlight. You get to basically select who you're speaking to and who you're interacting with, and I think that's so cool. The bar fills up, okay. I love the way that they talk to each other. It's so cute. I'm talking at the cafe. Girl, you don't take off your apron, you're off the clock. Programmer, music composer, okay? So something that I do like is that you kind of have to develop more of a relationship, and it'll give you the option to inevitably start to build more of that relationship with whoever your para is interacting with, and I think that's cool. I think it's really interesting that it does require you to do that in order to unlock certain interactions, and I like that there's only 3 instead of giving you like 20 to 30 options. You're like gotta look through each category to figure out which one you're gonna pick. I don't know if InZoi does that because I didn't really see that with character interactions with theirs. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how the character interactions work in InZoi. We will find out in that tutorial, FYI. But nonetheless, I really enjoy that there's only like 3 categories, and they're like, look, you got 3 options, pick one of them and be happy with it, because that's how you get in. See, so you have to unlock that friendship. They're like, yeah, girl, we ain't just gonna let you in our friend group, whatever. You gotta actually like make it with me. I love, hold on, something I really, really like, want to take note. I love the individual pillows you get to put on your couch, and I also love the little throw blanket. I don't know if InZoi is gonna allow that in their game, but the one thing I've noticed about Paralives is that this is something you could do in their game. And I really, really, really love that. I've always wanted to be able to like pick and choose how I want the pillow to rest on the bed. Because if I could do it in real life, why can't I do it in game? You know? It's always kind of been a thing for me. But I really love the way you get to just pick out everything by hand. Okay. You see what I do with that Killmonger haircut? You can't escape it. Go ahead and get yourself a blue girl. Oh, you kept it quiet, okay. Okay. Okay, so a lot of it's like character interaction based showing for the gameplay, and not really a lot of like world building and stuff like that. And I'm kind of noticing that. I really don't know how you're supposed to do character interactions in InZoi. I have not seen that. We will be seeing it, but I have not seen it. Okay, so she's gonna be starting a new job.
What are you doing?
Ooh, okay. We're gonna be developing a relationship here. It's been a while since I've seen this. It's like literally been a year. It's been a whole year since I've watched this.
What's out there?
You go, girl. Get your man. Her man, her man, her man. Okay? The announcement at the end of this video is what I was hyped about. Early access 2025. I don't know when specifically, but with bugs and missing features expected, it's early access. Same thing with InZoi. It's early access. Paralives will never have paid DLCs, only free expansions. That is something that I was surprised about because, let's be honest here, expansion packs and DLCs are what kind of add and bring more funds to the game, and I'm shocked that they're not implementing it and making it something you have to pay for later down the line. But I do enjoy it. I'm okay with paying for certain features if it means that they get a better budget and another team member if need be. But that being said, it is a passion project for sure, mixed in with like actual obvious work put in. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. As I sat here and said this, and I was also expressing this when I was recording this part, we don't really see much with InZoi versus what we see with Paralives in terms of character interactions and gameplay, and I'm intrigued as to how they're going to do that. I know how the build mode is going to go because I see what it looks like, and I know what it looks like for Paralives 2. We didn't really show it in this one, but the build mode is elite in both games, and I'm excited to see what they're going to be showing for early access and early release. Paralives does not have an official set date, unlike InZoi does, so that'll be later down the line when it is announced. I will obviously be making a video on it, but for now, this is what I currently wanted to show. I have a lot of high hopes. I'm not being unrealistic about my expectations for the games and what is to be seen and shown. I am, however, expecting a certain standard for something, at least. And I know a lot of people are putting things out there that they have a certain level of expectations of things that they want in terms of gameplay and what they're expecting, and it's not bad to have expectations, but I'm only expecting what I see. I'm not putting more than that out there, because when you put unrealistic expectations on things, you build unrealistic standards that really just shouldn't be put on anyone. And I'm just gonna say this now, I have high hopes for both in their respective categories of what they're promising. And that is all for today, folks. This video was a lot longer than what I intended it to be, but I'm excited to see where we go from here. Keep up with me because I will be buying InZoi when it comes out. I'm gonna be putting my money in for that. Same thing with Paralives. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Yeah, till next time.